Our next award was initiated to identify and recognize the outstanding professional contributions of Marquette engineers to our society. Michael Harsh is the recipient of the Professional Achievement Award for 2013. Mike, would you please join me at the podium? For as long as I can remember, I have wanted to design electrical and electronic systems. My grandfather would let me take over his kitchen table, where I would build and experiment with all sorts of electronic gadgets. He encouraged me to work hard and stay with it. And indeed, today Mike is the Vice President and Chief Technology Officer for GE Healthcare and leads its global science and technology organization. Mike started as an electrical design engineer in nuclear imaging with GE Healthcare and proceeded to hold numerous design and engineering management positions in the company. In 2008, he was elected to the American Institute for Medical and Biological Engineering College of Fellows for his significant contributions to the medical and biological engineering field. Through it all, Mike has remained a curious kid, tinkering as his numerous patents and medical imaging and instrumentation attest. In fact, he continues to write iPhone and iPad applications. I know this because he called me up about 6 months ago, and we talked about a GPS application for the iPhone that is now available in the App Store. So Mike, thanks for all you do for the college. In recognition of your professional and career accomplishments in engineering, it is my great pleasure to present you this award for outstanding professional achievement.
Wow, that is amazing. I got to tell you, I thought I just left the school yesterday, and when I was going to write up these notes, I realized my arms aren't long enough anymore. So I need to put on my glasses. But I got to tell you, everyone, I'm just truly honored to receive the Marquette College of Engineering Professional Achievement Award. It's something I never expected. I just wanted to be an engineer, and that's really what I still am. I really want to thank Marquette University President Father Scott Pellers, the College of Engineering and Dean Bob Bishop, the Department of Biomedical Engineering, and now I have to get used to the title, the Executive Associate Dean Chris Rapella, and all the work that we've done over the years in the Department of Biomedical Engineering together. All the engineering faculty and the former Dean of Engineering, and one of my professors when I was here, Stan Jaskowski. I also just want to give a special thanks to my father, John Harsh, my grandparents who really allowed me to do these things at a very young age, my aunts and uncles, some of who are here. And most importantly, when you look back at my career, and any career once you leave school, it's a team sport. That's probably the best way I can say it. And a very special thanks to my wife and my son, Jonathan, who really put up with my long hours. And they still allow me to experiment with electronics and write software apps and iPhone apps and iPad apps in my spare time, whenever I have that at home. When they know, when are you going to go out on Saturday or Sunday, and I'm still messing around. But thank you very much. Just a couple things I wanted to say. When I look at my background, I grew up in a time when, look, I know I always wanted to do electronics, but the microprocessor was really the next cool thing. And when I was going to school here, Dr. Russell Niederjohn was one of my professors. And I remember, I took some independent study from Russ Niederjohn, and we got to build a 16-bit microprocessor. That was hot stuff. And we got that thing working until we absolutely smoked it. I'm just glad that I still got a grade by the time that was over. But it was a lot of fun. But I tell you, when I take a look at processors and what they can do and microchips, there was one man I've always just had a deep admiration for, and that's Steve Jobs. He had a way of taking the most complex thing and coming up with very minimalistic designs that just worked and were cool along the way. There was a quote that I still look at all the time, and I just want to read it. He said, "Your time is limited, So don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of other people's opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart, intuition, and your faith. They already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is just secondary. You know, I still remember the day I walked into GE Medical Systems. I knew then, first of all, I love engineering, but when you walk into a place and it's in the late 70s, and these guys are doing digital image processing, man, this place is cool. It's got to be just here in the CIA. I'm gonna come work here. That's what I want up here. But I think back about it, I was truly blessed to have received a Jesuit education and experience from Marquette University. It really did give me the tools to construct a life and career that I have today. You know, I was fortunate enough at the time to walk in to find these guys playing around with digital images back in the 70s and image processing lab. My gosh. At a time that seen explosive growth in medical imaging. The CT scanners just came out, and it was pretty cool. We could do one slice every second. we spin the equivalent of about 6 DVDs per second of data coming out the front end of a CT scanner today, and we have to deal with that in real time. I got a chance to work with some folks, Chuck Mastretta, Dr. Chuck Mastretta from UW-Madison at the time. You know him from medical imaging. He's Mr. Digital Imaging for medical. We digitized X-ray, we did the first digital subtraction angiography system, and got that out. And people said it didn't work. The difference is I didn't know any better. I didn't know people were saying it wasn't going to work. It didn't work. That's one thing I learned right away. I was around when when I got to participate when we designed the first MRI scanner. The physics existed for years. The electronics and computational systems had to catch up, and that's what happened. The ultrasound systems that we have today, I spent 11 years designing ultrasound systems. We knew we could digitize those and make them small enough to fit in your shirt pocket. We finally did it 2 years ago. I had a chance to bring one in today and play with it a little bit with some of the folks. It is a real ultrasound machine, fits in your shirt pocket. When I take a look at some of the advances, I started in nuclear imaging. Positron emission thermography is cool stuff. We've got one group that engineers molecules, and we can make these molecules detach to different diseases in your body, and then we tag them. We tag them with antimatter, positrons. I mean, this is Star Trek stuff. We've got antimatter touching electrons, they mutually annihilate with E = mc². Energy goes off, and you see the photons and say, an event happened there, and we can target a disease very specifically through that. At the end of the day, when I look at what this has done, it's really driven major changes to cost, quality, and access for healthcare. Not just locally, not just across the U.S., but across the globe. If I go back and if I look over the last 20 years, one statistic I really like to look at is exploratory surgeries. Probably don't remember those, but I kind of do. They're down. You don't even hear of these today, but they're down 60% in the last 20 years. That's $14 billion of net savings to the healthcare system. One of the best quotes I've ever seen was, the decline in cancer has little to do with improvements in late-stage treatment and more to do with screening early detection and treatment. And that's something that I feel as though we've all had a piece in. Look, and I understand that, my piece of that is small. And I'm really the front guy for about 9,000 scientists and engineers at GE Healthcare. But a couple things when I step back and look at it. I continue to feel really rewarded for the quality of life that this technology provided for people around the world. And when I think back, Marquette University has really helped me fulfill these ambitions in terms of what we've been able to do over the last 34 years of my career. Because of all that, I continue to try to give back to Marquette University. But what I've noticed in the end is Marquette seems to keep giving back to me both professionally and personally in my life. My dream for everyone in this room is that this Marquette Alumni Award for Professional Achievement will hopefully inspire you and a lot of others to strive to meet your life's desires. My sincere thank you to everyone at Marquette University, the Alumni Association, for this award. I'm personally touched and grateful. Thank you very much.